Your Excellency, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, please one more time let's appreciate the great work done by these great discussants and also the Chief himself. Please, I pray your indulgence that this event is live on television, so please let's have some level of decorum and stability for the sake of the coverage on television, please. One more time, I want to specially thank the presenters and the discussants. The topic they were speaking on was towards a successful campaign in Russia 2018. And the presentation was made by Chief Adeboyo Nigbinde, former coach of the Super Eagles. The discussants were Dr. Patrick Ikeji, former Director General NSC, and also Mr. Ikedi Isiguzo. Please let's put our hands together for them one more time, please, as they... Thank you so much, sirs. You can now go back to your seats, sirs. We really do appreciate. And for those of us in the media, we have taken note of some very important points we can speak about on radio, television, and via the newspapers as to what we can do to develop football in Nigeria and take it to even greater heights. On that note, without any further ado, permit me to invite the next set of discussants and presenter. We're going to have the next paper with the theme, Galvanizing Support for the Super Eagles, the role of government, media, and Nigerians. And this paper will be presented by the former Director General, Nigeria Broadcasting Commission, Malam Danladi Bako. Please, let's put our hands together for him, please. If you're not clapping, I'm not too sure of what you're doing. Are you eating or something? He's one who's inspired so many of us to get into the media, and it's a huge delight and privilege that I'm meeting him in person at this time. He will thrill us for the next 15 minutes with very intelligent and highly intellectual discussions. The discussants are Chief Emeka Iyama, Chairman Abia Warriors Football Club of Umuahia, and Mr. Fani Amun, the former coach of the Golden Eaglets of Nigeria. Please let's also clap for them too. Thank you very much.
Your Excellency, the Deputy Governor of Rivers State, Dr. Palibo, the NFF President and my junior brother for upwards of 30 years, Amaju Pinnick, the MD of Sun Newspapers, Eric Osage, the SWAN President, the Commissioner of Sports for Rivers State, other distinguished ladies and gentlemen in this hall, I am privileged to be here. I must start by thanking the organizers of Sun Newspapers, the organizing company Intrepid Communications as well, and my colleagues and my co-paper presenters. I am going to end my presentation with a song. I will start with one song and I will end with another song. And those songs, they're not Hausa songs. Don't worry, they're not Fulani songs. The one I'll start with is I have had the privilege of going to training with Super Eagles on so many occasions in Hammamet, Tunisia 94, 1984, and the players, the bonding in the team in the bus. That's when you hear songs like Is a Miracle Working God. The team will be playing Is a Miracle Working God. So those of us that are not exactly churchgoers or Christians, we were excited that the team could bond. One of the things that was the success of Tunisia 94, I had to go with them to training so many times, was the bonding of the team. There were the jokers. Rashidi Yakini cracked all the jokes. Everybody laughed. Amunike will crack his joke. Everybody laughed. So there was a team effort. As far back as 1984, Chief Onigbinde was going to Cote d'Ivoire to play Cup of Nations 1984, and I went to see them in Lily White Hotel in Eric Moore. And the food they were eating was rice and one piece of meat. Henry Nwosu, Idowu Otubusin, Emmanuel Okala, All of them were there. Felix Okolabi, 1984, the Super Eagles camp was in Eric Moore one-story building. Today, you have Super Eagles players that are millionaires. They can fly jets. So I imagine the challenge Chief Onigbinde had at that time to battle through the mental state of the players at that time. You were going on, of course, he even got to the finals in Cote d'Ivoire, 1984. We were beaten by Cameroon, 3-1. And we scored first. Théophile Abega, Emmanuel Koundé, Emmanuel Toto, Stephen Toto, all of them were in the Cameroonian team. But we had a very strong team. As he mentioned, one or two of the minuses were the things that made us lose that final. Chief Onigbinde, once again, I thank you for all the efforts you have done in Nigerian football, irrespective of whatever happened in Korea. But that first silver you got us in Cup of Nations in Cote d'Ivoire was remarkable. And the team at that time was an excellent team. Forget about the little differences about how Cote d'Ivoire beat us, how Cameroon beat us. You can see that eventually Cameroon moved on to produce Roger Milla and went to the World Cup. I'll start this paper by a very strong quote. It's from a gentleman called Bill Shankly. He says, "A lot of football success is in the mind. You must believe that you are the best and then make sure you work hard to be the best." He went ahead again in a same situation again. Another quote he said, "Some people believe football is a matter of life and death. I'm very disappointed with this attitude." Mark the word attitude. I can assure you it is much more important than that. What could be more important than life and death? That's to tell you where Bill Shankly raises football. Now, the truth of the matter is that whether you agree with him or not, the fact remains that football is one of the biggest businesses in the world. As at the time we were talking of the 2014 World Cup, 770 billion minutes of television was what we watched. We also made $4 billion in profit in revenue. And that's just for a one-month tournament. The Brazil-Chile match was easily and became the most tweeted match of all time with 64 million tweets over 90 minutes. These are statistics that they tell you about the power of football. So why wouldn't the government support football? You cannot understand why that volume of traffic. When I was in NTA, in France 98, we had a challenge. We had 52 matches to cover. Each match had 600,000 naira per jingle. And each match was supposed to take 10 jingles. That's 6 million times 52 matches. Calculate 6 million naira over 62 matches. That's a whole lot of money. NTA didn't make that kind of money for another 10 years. So in explaining why there is attention to football, some housewife or somebody sits down somewhere, they have no idea. Who are these guys kicking football, 22 men after all around the pitch? Kicking one ball. Money, power, glory is attached to it. You can see all of us sitting down here now. Who was sitting with the governor? Patrick Keji was not sitting with the governor. Honor Seriawo was not sitting with the governor. He was 3 miles away. The next person to the governor was who? Amaju, the president of the Football Federation. It tells you the power of football. It tells you again that, exactly, if the Commissioner of Sports wants to go and see the president in Abuja, it is easier for Nwanko Kanu or JJ Okocha to see the president faster than you. True or false? I'm sorry I used you, but don't worry, maybe you will become...